Hey everybody, Pat Taggart here from Sky Blue Creative. I want to talk to you about teleprompters. Sometimes we get requests from our clients to have a teleprompter. And they say, well, I just want to script this thing out. I want it to be perfect. So let me just put my script up on a teleprompter and I will read it. Here's the problem with that. The teleprompter is not a crutch. It's a skill. The people that do it really well on the news, for example, they've been working at that skill for years and years and decades in many cases. And so they're able to read a script, but with a ton of inflection and without seeing their eyes dart side to side, which is so distracting. But whenever you give a teleprompter to somebody that's never used it before, man, it's not great. And remember, video should just really mimic your day-to-day communication. It's in many ways a replacement of being able to get face-to-face with somebody, whether that be a client or potential client, an employee or a potential employee. You would never script yourself for something like that, right? Like you would always make that conversational. If you went into a client meeting and were trying to sell a client and you had a script that you recited word for word, or you had like cue cards behind their head and were reading off that, how do you think that meeting would go? Probably not great, right? But for some reason, people turn to that for video, and it's just a terrible idea. Now, there is one case where I think teleprompters can be immensely helpful. So much of our work is done documentary style, where you're looking off camera. Typically, it's me sitting next to the camera, and we're having a conversation. But there are situations where you want to look directly into camera. So something like updating your team, right? If you want to look into camera and update your team on, hey, here's what's going on in the business, which by the way, I think is a fantastic idea. Teleprompter can be really helpful just in listing bullets on the screen. So they make teleprompters for iPads now, iPad teleprompters. They are inexpensive. They're very easy to use. And the reason why people stumble often isn't because they don't know what they're talking about. It's because they're constantly thinking, okay, what comes after this? And you wind up getting in your own head and talking yourself into a circle. A little bulleted list over a teleprompter can really keep you organized and keep it flowing for you, but you still want to be conversational. The takeaway here is do not read scripts off teleprompters. You are not a newscaster. You are probably the leader of an organization, and people don't want to see your eyes darting back and forth. They don't want to feel like you're manipulating them. They want to hear from you honestly and conversationally.